you have multiple accounts, how does that help you?
The opportunity of doing this with multiple accounts is that I can cherry pick my investments even further. So what the Roth recharacterization rules say is if I decide to undo the Roth conversion and put it back, I have to not only put back my original conversion, but any gains or losses on that money that occurred during the intervening time period. So that's what lets us true up that if I put in 100 grand and it's down to 70 and I want to recharacterize, technically I have to recharacterize all 100 plus or minus the losses, which in that case is $30,000. So if I recharacterize all 70, the 70 trues up to the original 100 because of the loss. Now that's all well and good when I have one investment in my Roth conversion. If I have multiple investments though, so say I bought stocks and bonds, we had a market crash, so the stocks crashed and the bonds rallied with the flight to safety, I can't go in and say, well, I really want to recharacterize the stock that went down, but I actually want to keep the bonds that went up because that one worked out. From the IRS's perspective, they say, no. Anytime you do a Roth recharacterization, you have to do a pro rata recharacterization of the gains and losses of the whole account. So they're all intermingled together. But it's on an account by account basis, which means I actually can cherry pick my investments. I just have to plan for it in advance by doing Roth conversions into separate accounts. And so we actually will do this with clients. We'll say, look, we want to convert $300,000. But rather than just putting all $300,000 into one diversified account, we're going to do three $100,000 Roth conversions. The first one is going to be $100,000 into REITs. The second one is going to be $100,000 into equities. And the third one is going to be $100,000 into emerging markets, assuming I wanted to invest in those in the first place. And now I get to see over the span of the next year and a half which of those does well. And if I get to the end of the year and a half period and I find out, well, REITs did well and emerging markets did well, but domestic equities did poorly, then I'll keep the REITs and I'll keep the emerging markets and I'll recharacterize all the gains and losses of the second account. But since the second account only had US equities, I only have to recharacterize the US equities. So we have to recharacterize all the gains and losses of an account, but I can make multiple accounts and put one investment per account, which gives me the opportunity to cherry pick the investment.